Duncan Outdoors was one of those businesses.
I just kept saying, what have we done? Are we being arrested? And I did ask, I said, do we need to call an attorney? And the one guy looked at me and said, you can call an attorney, but it won't do any good. We're the IRS. We can do anything we want.
So the tactics are definitely Gestapo-type tactics that should not be happening in the United States of America. It's similar to what you might see in a SWAT raid on a drug house. And that's what a lot of people thought when they saw this.
The CEO of Gibson Guitar can certainly relate. His business was raided twice. The raid tactics sounding awfully familiar.
It was very much like a drug raid or, terrorist raid, actually. The agents or officers, whatever they were not friendly. They were armed, they were hostile, they were intimidating. But to have it done twice and not having been charged with anything is really bizarre. We incurred losses, we incurred military-style action, we had seizures, our workplace was closed, and we had threats that they would close us, period, and yet we hadn't been charged with a single thing.
The raids cost Gibson Guitar Company well over $5 million in goods seized, work stoppage, and legal expenses, all without having to prove to any judicial body that anyone with the company was guilty of anything. And in the case of the Duncans, who had also not been charged with a crime, the government even seized money from their bank accounts without telling them.
If the federal government could come in before you're convicted of any crime and take hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your bank account, shut down your business, tell your employees what to do, keep you from your family. I mean, at what point is it so overkill that no reasonable person would be able to respond rationally, reasonably, defend themselves? I mean, nobody could do that. I mean, to me, it just seems like if you can walk into the bank and I don't even know about it and wipe out my bank account, where does it stop?
It's no secret that IRS audits of small businesses have soared under the Obama administration. The tax division of Eric Holder's Justice Department, which supervises all criminal proceedings under internal revenue laws, has been very busy. Various articles on the net refer to it as small business bullying, citing a 32% increase in the number of audits of small to medium-sized businesses between 2009 and 2011. Since Eric Holder took over the Justice Department. An increasing number of these businesses being audited report being subjected to paramilitary aggressive raids.
Well, I think over the course of several years, what we've seen is an increase in a really a paramilitary style raid that's going on small businesses. We have seen that increase for so long, and when I say a paramilitary raid, I really mean it is a paramilitary raid. It's a specific tactic that is a military tactic. It's a shock and awe. It's designed to create confusion, instability, disruption, and then to take advantage of that confusion, that instability, and disruption. But when you have small business owners with impeccable backgrounds that enjoy outstanding reputations in their community, that have never been in trouble in their whole life, and then when the offense does not imply any sort of dangerousness or violence, the paramilitary style raid is over the top.
We talked with a number of businesses in various states around the country. All of them tell the same story. Some of them were too afraid to speak with us on camera, and many so fearful of government retaliation, they asked us not to use their names or the names of their businesses. And while many of these government investigations and raids led to charges related to white-collar crimes, the guilt or innocence of the business executives involved is not the issue. At issue is the Gestapo paramilitary tactics being utilized by the government in these raids, tactics that are in clear violation of the constitutional rights of American citizens.
Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution guarantees, in fact it says, the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended. So every American fundamentally has the right not to be detained, and this is important, anywhere. Not just in prison, has a right not to be detained anywhere. So that is an enormous concern because the stories we're hearing apparently that is happening. And that doesn't even go into the Miranda requirements of being read your personal rights and being afforded the opportunity to have an attorney, which we're also being told is being abridged. The two pillars of freedom and liberty in the country are the rights to property and the rights to privacy. So when those are abridged or they're somehow injured, then there's an enormous constitutional concern on the most fundamental guarantees of liberty and freedom as an American citizen.
Curtis Coleman, chairman of the Institute on Constitutional Policy, says Congress has an obligation to call for a House investigation and that states need to reclaim state sovereignty to defend their citizens from federal abuse of power.
One of the solutions to these kind of issues is for states to begin to, instead of representing the federal government to their citizens, to start representing the citizens to their federal government. The states are going to have to start pushing back and start recovering the balance of power intended by the Constitution. And they're going to have to start recovering their constitutionally intended sovereignty. And this is one of the areas in which the state can function. If there are repeated reports of increasing frequency that the rights, the fundamental rights of privacy and property and writs of habeas corpus are being infringed, then the Congress has a constitutional obligation to perform its oversight, to investigate the incidences, to determine if there's a pattern.
Some business owners are committed to pushing for that legislative action.
The issue is there is absolutely no consequence for a bad government action. So the executive branch now has king-like, emperor-like authority that circumvents constitutional balance that were foreseen by our forefathers. And because it's taken 100+ years to get here, it's going to be really hard to sort of get back to that sense of balance. But I am committed to working towards that end and spending years doing it.
Getting the legislative branch to call a House investigation to rein in the executive branch of government may help Americans regain some lost rights. But Gary Duncan, a former Green Beret who served his country over 2 decades, fears some things lost may never be recovered.
I think that as a result of the raid, a lot of people's opinion of my integrity would be damaged. And that bothers me a lot. My credibility will be damaged forever. You know, when something that negative and that powerful is done to you and you have nothing that you can do.
Hi, this is Chad Everson. You are watching Oompa Loompa Cafe with Rick Osmond, and this is Temerity Magazine. Temerity Magazine brings you relic and treasure hunters from across the world 2 times a day, Monday through Friday, right here. Hey, we want to thank all the viewers in Indiana and all across the world that are tuning in live and through on demand. Your support means the world to us, and hey, why not join us right on the hunt? A relic and treasure hunter, or in the pages of Temerity Magazine. Our submission deadline is January 20th, and our next issue will be out February 1st. Please join us. Let's get on the hunt and get a little grizzly.
Hi, my name's Ian Hughes. I'm a metal detectorist based in Cumbria in the north of England, and I'm here to invite you to share my metal detecting adventures. Britain has thousands of years of recorded history, So join me in these ancient fields as I try to recover coins and relics dropped, hidden and lost over the centuries. Well, just had a really good signal here, first one I've had for a while. It was coming up at 65 to 70 and it's in here. Okay, this bit I believe, somewhere. Not sure at all. Yeah, it's there. Ah, here. Could it be? Yeah, it is. It's silver and it's a hammered silver. Look at that. Oh, right. This is what, about 4 hours in on the day, and I have a hammered silver. Okay, don't know what it is, but a lot of mud here, of course, but I can definitely see something there. Great. Okay, hammered silver for the day. All right, let's see if we get some more then. If you'd like to see more of my finds made over 2 years of metal detecting, full videos are available to watch on my YouTube channel, Hughes at youtube.com. Good luck and happy hunting to everyone.
Get a little grizzly.